Hello, greetings, welcome to Discussing Tabletop for March 10th, 2018. It is our 69th episode, of course.
Woo! Woo!
That too. So welcome once again to my two illustrious co-host. Worm can't this week. He's not feeling well, so he's going to take a week off.
We're just switching back, that's all.
Apparently, it's never the two shall meet again. switching forth evermore. Anyway, so welcome to the show, of course. For those of you that are new to joining us, this is the tabletop discussion show where we talk about a number of topics of things that in the world of tabletop over the course of the week. RPGs, CCGs, CG, we talk about it. So today on docket, of course, which I can shove into chat. Right there. We have Shadowrun Morocco, as seemingly a new series of Asian-based books from them. The Infinity RPG Sphere. I want to talk about that because we haven't talked a whole lot about Infinity.
And beyond.
Games has released 7 new mini expansions, and I want to just sort of lump them one topic and talk about each usual. And then we have 2 games I want to discuss. Wickedest of them all, kind of trying to be evil kind of thing. And Potato Pirate is just
weird.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have our normal segments, our Kickstarter Korner, where we'll about some Kickstarter out during this week. Our week in tabletop we did in Tabletop Wheel, and then consult the table to finish it off, where you can ask us any questions you have. If you already have it ready for then, or you can leave it here in chat. You have to leave a little early, or you can also there's other ways to send it to us. We'll talk about that. Show anyway. Why don't we dive in, of course, to this week's topic? Start with our topic with Shadows in Focus Morocco. So, it's like this is for 5th edition Shadowrun, for Shadowrun Anarchy, and granted, they're focusing on a place that is an interesting nation, Morocco, which is trying to mix, the cutting-edge technology while keeping that firm old traditions, and being a little bit of, deal-making, harsh governments, and lots of interesting things going on in the country itself, And they're focusing on this nation of Morocco as it is in the 2070s, I think they are in 5th edition. 2070s. Yes. And it talks about getting in, getting out, where to go, who to meet, what to do there, some information of what kind of troubles you might get into, hints about, things doing there, tips for running games in the country, as well as rules for building adventures based in Morocco, which would be kind of neat. Because when we look at Shadowrun as a whole, traditionally, it's always the what's left of the United States and its various nations that have broken apart into, and pretty much Seattle are the main focuses a lot of time for Shadowrun. It's the traditional one.
Yeah.
And granted, I have seen stuff on regions before. I've seen stuff very rarely on cities. Most of the time I've seen stuff on cities, it's either in a region book where it's talking about it, or in an adventure where it's talking about it.
Ooh, they're a constitutional monarchy.
Cool. They've managed to retain their monarchy, or they gained a new one. I don't know if they had one to begin with. Is that in the book, or that
It's in the book.
Okay. I'm not sure about now.
Their estimated sinness is 19%.
That actually is pretty low.
And their literacy is 90.
So, 19% of the population is actually considered a citizen, kind of. That's
actually, and you know what's not bad too? Population below the poverty line is only 13%.
So they managed to maintain a very good non-poverty line, but not a lot of people have full citizenship. That's kind of an interesting.
I wonder if that only counts the people who are citizens.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. If those details are if the book's saying them, it's probably more accurate to everyone, but it is very hard to say when you have an interesting situation like that. That it seems there's like an upper crust, you'd say almost, like we're the citizens, we're, you know, and being a constitutional monarchy, it's probably got like a parliament or something in there too, I'm going to assume, you know.
And there's 25.4 million Matrix users.
Ooh.
They have a lot of information on the actual country.
Yeah. It's really nice when they have that information, that you break down Morocco as an entire country. And granted, yeah, okay, we're not focusing on a single city in Morocco, but a single country is different than a region. You know, that's an entirely different thing. Like, you'll find books on, like, Europe, or parts of Asia, or parts of Africa before, you know, and I'm liking that we are looking at an individual nation almost that is a very unique take to it too, because you have to consider Morocco is definitely a different region, a very, as I can speak English.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No, I can't apparently.
You never can.
You know, northern Africa has a very different feel than a lot of other places in the world. So looking at, you know, Shadowrun, Morocco, you've got like that kind of Spanish influence. You've got a lot of, you know, Middle Eastern influence with a lot of like, you know, probably because it is tradition based, you probably do have the Shadowrun version of Muslims, which I know are still around, but they've gone really interesting because
Shadow Muslims.
Well, like religion, they do talk about in one of the magic books religion-based mages, and they're very interesting because they talk about like how the Catholic ones work, how the Muslim ones work, how like there's Jewish ones too, and they are very interesting how they take on magic and religion together. And it's very interesting, you know, that they do evolve because of the arrival of it, but in interesting ways.
Matt, is there a tapping on your microphone on your side?
No, there shouldn't be.
Or is your desk wobbling?
No, I might have been tapping when I was putting my hand down a little bit. But that was just right now.
Because it was just like whoop, 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 whoop.
If it keeps up, then there's something weird going on. But if it doesn't keep up, then it's just me being a little...
It's stopped now, so I think that's just you being fidgety.
Fidgety and spasticky. And energetic.
They also have a large amount of arrow ports.
Okay. I don't know what I was doing. I was doing something weird while you're talking about arrow ports.
There's 11 major arrow ports.
Yes. Which are like futuristic airports.
Yes.
Yes. For those of you not in the know. Even though it really sounds like airport. I'm guessing
and they have
major ones, though.
They have 4 high-speed rail routes.
That's good. So it's interesting that they do have a very good establishment of the information and material in this that you can kind of check out, get an idea.
My question is, do they have cybernetic capuchin monkeys?
Again, as we're talking pre-show, they very well could. Cybernetic animals are an actual thing which people do for pets or for security or somewhere in between both. So I'm pretty sure there's some eccentric, you know, citizen in there that at least has one somewhere. Or a troop of them defending like an area.
Because I want them.
I know you do. I know you want your robotic your cybernetic monkeys.
That can launch poo out of like an arm cannon.
They probably don't have that. I don't think anybody in their right mind would do that. They would probably just give them actual machine guns, because that'd be more effective.
That'd also probably be deadly to the capuchins, though, because they'd probably shoot each other.
Well, I mean, if you get, like, you know, basically wire them in so that they're slightly automated and, like, controlled with, you know, putting...
There's no fun in that, then.
It's merely like, you know, when things go down, you can activate all your cybernetic monkeys. Otherwise, you can just let them do what they do and be monkeys with super strength. And really, like, armored bodies, you know, and, like, probably ridiculous, like, senses.
You could also just have them steal things. Capuchins love to steal.
Yes, well, I mean, that's if you could be the Shadowrunner with a trained cybernetic, basically drone monkey or something. Well, actually, then you could also just do a drone monkey and, like, you know, take the skin of a capuchin, an actual one, and put it around your, like, monkey drone, and so it looks like an actual capuchin, and it's creepy.
Yes, that's just no. I want a real capuchin. I don't want a cyber skin robo weird capuchin. That's just creepy.
That is capuchin drone. Go capuchin drone, who looks like a capuchin because I used one skin.
Ook, 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 eek, ak.
Ook, ook, ook. No, I didn't say steal his liver. I said steal his wallet. Damn it.
Isn't that where he keeps his money, in his liver?
No, not apparently. That's where
it might be. He might have a secret pouch in it.
I mean, I guess you could have liver pouch. No, I don't think you could. I don't think there's enough room in the liver to put a liver pouch.
You get it. It's a mechanical liver, sir.
Anyway, so yeah, if you are interested in a different region than we see a lot of in Shadowrun and want to try it out, I definitely would recommend checking this one out.
The current time is January 6th, 2080.
Okay, so it's 2080. It's hard to remember how, because they skip like decades ahead. I think like the first Shadowrun was like 2040s, it might have been, and they might have gone a decade each year. 2040s.
Okay,
50s,
wait. Here's a great
60s,
quote.
80s. Yeah, that'd be accurate.
You have one incoming message from your pizza delivery agent. Oh God, open the door. The devil rats are after me. Help.
I mean, that's interesting. Yeah. That's a thing.
You better open your door if you want that pizza. The devil rats are going to eat it.
I mean, and him, but that's besides the point.
Well, then you don't have to tip him if they eat him.
That's accurate. Accurate.
See, you got to be smart about these things.
You can grab the pizza and close the door.
Maybe you released the devil rats so you didn't have to tip him.
You sort of like open the door, grab the pizza, throw some money out, close it, or like, you know, like wire the business. Click. It's like, no, the rats. Yeah. Anyway, we are terrible to pizza delivery boys. Apparently, in the future.
And now. No.
No, well, we don't meet any pizza. Well, I don't meet any pizza delivery boys. Or delivery people anyway, in general.
I was gonna say, what about delivery girls?
That's why I'm saying delivery people in general. I think there might be only one place that might deliver to my location. Maybe.
Bob Bobbington's Boborama?
No, but that sounds like it would be Bob-rific if he wants a Bob. Anyway, so
stop being fidgety.
Never. I don't know what I was gonna say anymore because you got me a devil rat pizza delivery boy.
I win.
I mean, to a degree, you do. Anyway, book PDF, $8 from Catalyst Labs. You can find it on DriveThruRPG if you want it now for your own stuff. I'm not going to talk about Australia though. I don't know why it would be reasons, but no. Anyway, let's move on.
Because then you're gonna have cybernetic kangaroos.
Well, then we can go to the Australian-American War from Grand Theft Auto and have kamikaze kangaroos, which are actually cybernetic kangaroos loaded with bombs.
Ooh! You could have actual drop bears.
Yes. Look, there's a lot of things you can do with that, and it's better that we just step away from that and just go.
Cybernetic platypus?
No one would want that. It's already weird enough as it is. Why make it worse? The poor thing.
now can project its electromagnetic field from its beak.
That's just dumb. It's already a dumb animal. It's okay. Anyway, let's move on. Infinity: Adventures in the Human Sphere. It's by Corvus Belli. Infinity, the role-playing game by Modifius, has a new book out. Adventures in the Human Sphere. I'm guessing the Human Sphere, because I don't know a lot about Infinity overall, is where, humans basically are kind of focused. And this is all about intrigue, confrontations that take place in the aspects of human fears. Plots, counteroffensive plans, subterfuge, all that kind of stuff.
What about the Inhuman Sphere?
They're probably just called whatever sphere it is for whatever race or whatever thing it is. Why be inhuman? Because those guys are in, like, underground and in the 80s from a bad series that was supposed to sell toys, and I don't think it actually did successfully. Anyway, that was a really bad reference for a TV series I saw a couple episodes on YouTube, like, 5 years ago. It's a bad cartoon. Supposed to sell toys. Did not. Inhumans. I would recommend it for a laugh, at least for the early episodes. Anyway. They had an entire series, though. So Adventures in Human Spirits provides basically its far-reaching missions, based around humanity and this, each designed to thrust your agents to the path of machinations, conflict with the various alignments that bind humanity together. Conflicts within their human combinations.
That's a 2D20 system.
Yes. Well, most of Modifius is a 2D20. I have to remember a little bit of Infinity, because I'm remembering, is it like super technology our planet, or was it like one of the space exploration ones? And I'm forgetting at the moment, but I can look
I don't know, but I'm looking at the character sheet.
Yes, I'm looking up Infinity just right now so I can remember, because
it has agility, awareness, brawn, coordination, intelligence, personality, and willpower.
Okay, yeah, there's like aliens, but it's also like very human based, and yeah. Players have, it's basically like the one verb about it is like 10 years of players have tested their mettle in the battlefields of the human sphere in Corvus Belli's popular Infinity Skirmish game. So that's like Corvus Belli had a game. And now they put it into... Yeah, because I remember talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, they're developing the system for the 2D20 system, which Modifius is Modifius' house system.
Yeah. Which is good. The 2D20 system, from what I know about it, is pretty decent. I just haven't had a chance to really play with it. Though, again, we will have to one of these weeks. Which is something I have to talk about with you about Mondays. I might have to find a new artist, because the current one might be busy. Uh-huh. But that's a different story entirely for off-stream.
Yes.
Anyway, we're talking about a friend of ours, basically, that we both know.
I can probably design something.
Oh, like if you wanted to? No, but I'm saying, like, our friend who I was talking to in Texas has things going on with her.
Well, I'm saying if you need me to design something, I might be able to as well.
Okay, well, I'll find out what's going on. I'll have to figure it out.
I can do spacescapes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, anyways, there's a bunch of, like, stuff for various adventures. It is a 106-page PDF, or the print book. So that is a pretty decent chunk of stuff for building adventures in this system. Building adventures in this system. Damien agrees. She goes, meow, 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 meow. You're building adventures in this system with humans fighting aliens and other humans and intrigue. Meow, meow, meow. I don't know. Today, I don't know what's going on. Insanity.
Maybe meow, 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 meow.
So purry.
We're not cat food commercials.
Damien, be free. All right.
Meow.
Meow. I don't know what I was going to say anymore. I got distracted with my brain. Oh my god. Streamcat's just... I think it's the lack of sleep. I did not get a lot. Anyway, so it does have some maps on key locations, networks, social interactions, and various things. So locations are always great. Various interactions with various groups are always great. How you might interact with them, things like that. It's providing a lot of information for setting, but not just like, okay, here's a location. Here's setting how it might relate to adventures you might have, which I do like that take on it to a degree. It's always good to take a look at here's how adventures might have. That's like the Shadowrun one. It's like here's how some things about how you might be runners in Morocco or going to Morocco. That's good because it's better than just like here's a place you can go to. Like for example, for like D&D, if someone be like here's Waterdeep, all the information on it, you'd be like, okay, great. What kind of adventures can I have there? We're not telling you. You wouldn't like that. You'd be like, well, I could come up with something on my own, which is fine. It's not bad to come up with something on your own. But having a point to work off of helps with you as a DM or GM to figure something out. So I'm very glad the way that they're taking the book is basically what I'm trying to go on with this half tangent.
Tangent!
Mm-hmm. Well, it still fits. The fact is that I'm liking the way that they're saying they're structuring the book without having, like, fully reading the book because, you know, we don't have a copy of it. And they don't have a... Unlike the Shadowrun one, I don't have a tiny preview of it that gives us some information. The Shadowrun was nice enough to. Modifius, huh? You're always good on everything else. How about this one? Bum, bum, bum.
Nothing for you.
Nothing for us, apparently. But no, I'm liking how their direction they're going with Infinity. I definitely want to see about maybe trying out their... I think they have a quick start for Infinity out. I'm pretty sure they do. Modifius did put out all those quick starts for like 50% of their... Well, actually more than 50% of their systems. Yes, they have a free quick start. So yeah. So,
yay!
I know. Modifius was really nice when they put out all those. Because now we can be like, what do we want to try? Okay, we can try it. Anyway. So, yep. Infinity, the new book is out for it. If you're interested in... if you've already tried it out, Infinity, great. Maybe this will help you out to find some more interesting adventures or design your own adventures so that you have a little bit of...
It goes beyond.
Yes. Now they have a bit of information of where to start from. Or if you're just, if you're new to Infinity, I would recommend checking out the game. At least checking out the quick start rules. It does look like another interesting one. As Modifius does some really great, interesting games. So definitely recommend checking their stuff out.
We still want them to tell us, though, how you pronounce your company.
Oh my god. Why do you have, like, the umlaut over the U and the line over the O? I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced with those. I will call it Modifius until you correct me, because I'm sure that's not correct. But, yeah.
We need to ask Chad.
It's like Modifius. Well, what language is it supposed to be? They're like Norwegian or something, or that Scandinavian of some type, I thought.
Maybe. I know they're European.
Yes.
Because they... Well, actually, no. All their booked prices are in pounds.
Yes, I know that. But I thought they were a European company.
I don't know, but I would think if you're selling everything in pounds, you'd be British.
That's a very good question. They might just be doing it for their own reasons. Yeah.
Just to be different.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Okay, it is a UK-based publisher, but that means they could be using any European language.
Modifius.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's yes, okay, you're UK-based, but choose an...
Oh, and you can subscribe to their magazine, which is called Modifia.
I'm gonna drink this orange juice and just
It
look
has
at you.
no special characters over the letters.
They often do that online sometimes. They don't have the special symbols over letters. It's like on their
Oh no,
fancy
no!
font.
On their magazine, it's like nope. Just
Anyway,
don't
let's
look
let's move on to Z-Man Games having 7 new mini expansions.
Mini.
Mini. So mini expansions, if you are unfamiliar with them, are basically small expansions for board or card games. They oftentimes are, they're a little bit of extra material, maybe add like one dynamic to a game, but not a lot. It'd be like if you were playing a game where there's a whole bunch of different types of characters or races, you add one new character, or you add one new race to it, like that you can play as, with its own rules.
Carcassonne, the school.
Yeah, they've got 2 Carcassonne expansions, the school expansion and the festival expansion.
The school, you're trying to build all roads that lead to the school.
Yeah. The teacher will give them points next time anything is scored, regardless of what is scored. The player scored the points. Once the roads are complete, there are enough students, and the teacher stays put for the rest of the game. So it's like, there might be like a teacher meeple kind of thing,
I think that's the red meeple that they're showing in the picture there.
Yeah.
It's a special teacher meeple.
And like there's the festival one for Carcassonne, which is a Carcassonne tile laying game. Look, my facial hair, I have to fix it up a little bit. I know it's terrible. So, I can't complain. I need to go over my beard again. It's really terrible right now.
I wasn't sure if he was talking to you or me.
I think both of us. He's like, your facial hair could combine and make one reasonable person's facial hair.
What's wrong with my facial hair?
I have no idea. Anyway. So yeah, those are the 2 Carcassonne ones. There's one for Sylvian, Below Ground. They're terrain cards for the occupied battle space. I don't know a lot about Sylvian. So, he thinks that you don't have a good mustache. You just sort of have beard. I don't know.
He's just jealous because he doesn't have any.
There's a Beyond Baker Street expansion, so that's like, it's a Sherlock Holmes game expansion. At least it's not a new Sherlock Holmes game. It's taking whatever Sherlock Holmes game they have and putting a mini expansion to it. I'm much better with this one. Even though this is number 2 for the year that we've had to talk about related to like detectives and Sherlock Holmes. We had like 10 last year. Let's see how many we get this year. We're only in March.
5,682.
Which apparently, like, you can discover Moriarty with the mini expansion, which I'm like, you didn't have this before.
Okay, I have a problem. Voyages of Marco Polo. New characters. King Arthur.
He's not King Arthur. He's Khan
never mind. I'm sorry, that's
I know, it looks like...
I thought it said King Arthur, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Too. I realized what you were thinking, too. When I saw it first. I'm like, is that King Arthur? No.
Khan...
Arahun.
Khan!
But basically, that's like giving you a sample. It's new characters. It's 3 new characters to add to you, and that's the mini expansion. For your Voyages of Marco Polo game, for your Feast of Odin... Some new lands to discover.
Feast for Odin, not of Odin.
Yeah.
Stop eating Odin.
Odin's so delicious. He's so divine.
That what happened, Eye?
Yeah. Eye of Odin. Oh my God. Let's not eat the gods. Eating the gods for fun and education. Anyways.
Well, there in, I think it was D&D 2.0. There was an area in the multiverse you could go that was nothing but dead gods.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you could see them and have weird things happen to you.
Yep. So they have the archipelago of Lofton and Terra del Fuego, which apparently the freaking Vikings can go to. I guess Terra del Fuego. This seems like an unusual place for Vikings to explore.
Terra del Fuego. You killed my father. Prepared to die.
No, God. Oh. that reminds me from last night when we were playing Civ 6 off stream. We quoted some Princess Bride, so I named one of my cities Inconceivable, and Poirier built a city next to it, and you know what he named it? Amigo Montoyaville.
Oh God.
Yep.
You should have built another city called "You Killed My Father, Prepare to Die."
Well, I've only got 5 cities anyway. I didn't build any more. I just made an ultimate civilization out of 5. I kept thinking about building more, but it was my population far more than the rest of you is what's superior. Anyway, back to this. Now that we Princess Bride in another week because we did it before. Yes. Terra Mystica also, which I've played Terra Mystica before.
I've never played it.
Our one friend, Cynthia, has it.
Cynthia.
Yeah. 4 new town tiles, a new scoring tile, a new bonus card. Basically, it's just small things. Terra Mystica is all about, you want to build a basic civilization, and your civilization is best in this type of terrain, and you have the ability to convert terrains one at a time.
I've seen this one played. Okay, yeah. I know what this is.
Yeah, you can sort of you want to aim to build places that you can either right away build in, or can easily use only one action to convert it to what you need to build in there. Kind of to spread your civ a little bit.
Understood.
It's terraforming.
Spread your civ like spreading some jam.
But it's they're magical creatures and gnomes and things like that. So it is Mystica.
Ooh, gnome on the range?
Probably.
Yay!
Probably. So, yeah, those are the 7 expansions. The Carcassonne one, man, the Carcassonne has a billion mini expansions. I have to say that about it. They have a billion expansions, too. I have a copy of Carcassonne with a lot of them, but I kind of gave up on getting more of them because it just... Carcassonne's bloated to beyond belief, and you get so much stuff for it. And some of them are really weird. Like the catapult one, which I've never actually used because it's weird.
Well, it should be right up your alley. You're weird.
Well, I don't like games that have mechanical natures very much, where you have to do something actually.
Because they're hard to play in places?
Yes. Not always, but they can be hard to play in places.
Like a diner?
Like a diner. And that's the only reason I really don't like them, because I don't always have a great place to set up and do these. But the Carcassonne one was catapults, so you'd have to put something on it and catapult it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Carcassonne, the school one seems like an interesting concept to get extra points. It's just something new to build. The festival one, which just gives you the ability to withdraw your meeple. Cool. That can be very useful. That you can put something down and be like, oh, I don't need it here anymore. The Sylveon, I mean, that's more terrains and things like that. I don't know a lot about the game, so I can't say for sure whether that's a very interesting expansion. But, the Baker Street one, I have to say, why didn't you have Moriarty before? I mean, really.
Because of raisins.
Yeah, I know, really. It's so this one I feel is the why didn't I have this in the original game mini expansion. I'm just gonna go on that one.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So basically, I get it. The point of the Beyond Baker Street is to solve cases before Sherlock Holmes. You're basically another detective.
Ah.
But you can also...
You're being a dick.
Well, I mean, the 2 characters that they've added on are you can do it as John Watson or Mycroft. You can be solving the case. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh. The suspect, the Napoleon of crime. New characters are always cool, so great for Marco Polo. The islands for Feast for Odin, they seem like they're useful. Again, I am completely unsure why Tierra del Fuego, because that just does not seem very Viking-y for me. Unless they got invaded by Vikings, and I don't know about that.
Mm.
I mean, that's... Tierra del Fuego.
Vikings
Is
did
in Argentina.
Okay, that's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't think the Vikings made it to Argentina. I know they made it to North America.
And then they like all died, so that a bunch of them died, so they left.
Yeah, but I don't think they made it to Argentina.
No.
We're looking for the lost city of gold.
There's a lost city of... Okay, I'm not gonna do it. My accent for
no, please.
Like a Swedish kind of person is just bad. So
you sound like the Swedish chef.
I sound a lot like the Swedish chef. I'm sorry, anyone from Sweden or from the Norwegian countries.
As you do it more,
I stopped that.
You're apologizing while doing it. That's just weird, Matt.
Anyway, Tierra del Fuego. Why? I think that's the couple of these mini expansions is just the whys. You know, like the Carcassonne ones, cool. The little like ground one, interesting. You know, the Marco Polo one looks great. New characters are always awesome when you have things that have character based. The Beyond Baker Street. Why didn't you have that before? Feast of Odin. What? And the Terra Mystica, whereas 4 new town tiles, which I'm interested in how they react to you, like, terraforming them, do stuff with them.
Yes.
You know, that seems like it would be something that, that give faction bonuses, and like, when you build on it, kind of things like that. That's interesting. That seems like it's helpful. So, I think it's a mixed bag in my idea for these mini expansions. What do you kind of think about this bag of tricks, so to say? Ah, cat.
I mean, it adds something to a game. It's always a nice thing.
That's true.
As long as they're reasonably priced for what you're getting, then it's not, you know, I'm not against it.
That's a very good question, yeah.
I mean, I'd say most of these should probably be placed around like the $5 to $10 mark.
Yeah, it looks like most of them are.
Because they don't add a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it looks like Z-Man goes for about $7 for when it comes to mini expansions. Which...
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not the best.
No, because I mean, if it's like 3 cards or a couple, like 5 tiles, then it's like...
Yeah. Oh,
that should be like $5.
At least the Beyond Baker Street's $2 for like a couple new characters.
That's not bad at all then. That's a good price.
Yeah. $5 for the Carcassonne, $7 for the festival, $5 for the school.
That's not bad when you consider, you know, tiles are more expensive to produce than a card.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, you know, so, like, because like the Marco Polo thing comes with a number of tiles and cards, you know.
Yeah.
You got the, I don't know if it's just maps for the Feast of Odin one, but there's like a whole bunch of little like tiles and stuff for the Terra Mystica. So I mean, they're not horrible priced. They're just, you know, right in the area. But in mini expansions, I always feel like, yes, they add a lot. They can add a bunch to your game, but they always have that little bit of price point that I'm like, it still is overall a little expensive because you can't really make it as cheap as I feel would be comfortable because, you know, you have to produce so many, and it costs so much to make things, you know, like when you're getting into the full games, it's a little easier to, like, you know, have things in bulk and stuff like that and better prices, you know, than small little thing that's on its own. And yes. I understand that. It's just still... I always have that feeling with mini expansions.
It might be even things, though, that, you know, players have said, hey, it would be nice to have something like this. And they take the suggestion and go, okay, well, we don't have enough to make a whole expansion for this, so we'll just make a little mini one.
Well, it's like, a good example would be like the Munchkin, the card packets. I like the Munchkin card packets. I just think they are definitely expensive for what they give you.
Right. Well, we've talked about how Steve Jackson kind of does squeeze every penny.
Well, Fantasy Flight does the same thing with expansion packs, too, so I can't complain, you know. I don't know if Steve... Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Steve Jackson might have been the first one to do that, but Fantasy Flight has been around a while, and I haven't necessarily, like, fully tracked what they've been doing as much as Steve Jackson games. Because I was always looking for, like, oh, what Munchkin sets do I have to get? Kind of things like that. Fantasy Flight, I never got into their pile of semi-collectible cards. So,
Right.
well, I mean, you know, like what, they have like 1 billion semi-collectible card games?
Yes.
If I wanted to, I could probably talk about one of their releases every week, but it's like, it never is like super interesting is the only thing I have to say about it. And I think that's one of the problems with mini expansions, is finding one that actually is, it doesn't seem boring, you know? Sometimes you can run out of things to do, I think, almost, you know, like by coming up with like, it's sort of like Carcassonne. There's like other festival type stuff in Carcassonne. This specifically is like a special festival tiles, which is nice. Or the school, they've had like other weird stuff related to schooling and things like that.
But to me, I mean, all at the same time, though, instead of them being two separate ones, you could have made it just one.
Yes. They've done stuff like that in the past, too. Like,
School festival! Woo, woo!
Yes. Learning, they could have called it like the Learning and Parties expansion. Something like that.
The college expansion?
that actually would have been perfect. Yeah. They really could have. And that's one of those things about it, I think, that there's definitely, yeah, like they've got like the Traders and Builders expansions and Princess and Dragon and Inns and Cathedrals, all of which I think I have as the big major expansions, and then a whole bunch of tiny mini expansions, like a crud ton of them.
That is something we haven't played in a long time.
Oh yeah, Carcassonne. Yeah, that's true. I should break out the box at one point in time, but
yes. Anyway,
so I think there is this like mini expansions are an interesting thing. I feel like they aren't bad. I'm definitely gonna say that, but they are like tabletop luxury items. I'd say I'd maybe call them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I have some extra cash. Maybe not enough for a full game or something.
Yeah.
I guess I'll pick this up.
Yeah, add to my thing. Just a little bit. And again, they're usually pretty cheap, so it's sort of like, I have like a couple extra actual dollars, and I want like, you know, to spend $5 to get this mini expansion, which will add a neat little mechanic to my game.
Yeah.
So, but that's the pile of mini expansions that the Z-Man Games has put out. Up to you what you think about mini expansions. I'd be interested to see what other folks see, but you know, take them or leave it. They do add some interesting things to the games that they are supporting right now. So, I'd recommend definitely checking it out, at least for yourself. If you play any of those games, definitely would recommend checking it out. All right. So
now to the wickedest of them all.
Yes, to the wickedest of them all. Which I have to see if I've got an okay. That's the one I wanted. All right. So wickedest of them all. It is, you know, it's a tarot-sized card game that takes being wicked to a new level. You take on the role of 6 basically witches vying for the position as head witch of a coven, bringing like doom, gloom upon mortals, and you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Doom and gloom.
It's for 2 to 4 players. It's meant to be very easy, pick up and play kind of gameplay. Though some sinister strategies kind of added in there. So they have. It's very easy, basic rules. A little bit of strategy.
Minions, spells.
Yeah. It is ages 16 and up. So it is very, I guess, more adult oriented. Definitely to say.
The time frame is very interesting. 15 minutes to an hour.
I'm guessing it might be based on the number of players.
Yeah.
That always does.
Since it goes 2 to 4.
Yeah. You choose a witch, draw cards. Your goal is to see which character has the highest wicked rank at the end of the game. Each witch has a special power and 3 tributes. Magic, wicked, and status. Statuses plays minions and magic cards. You can perform actions on your turns. There's the spells, status, minions, spells and minions as actions, gaining wicked, and
there's also equipment.
Yes. So there's a lot of depth to the card game itself.
Yeah, and equipment and minions don't cost an action to play.
I do find
But you can only have 2 things equipped.
Yeah, I do find it interesting that they've taken a very interesting route with like evil witches and covens and stuff, and being like doing the evil route in a board game kind of thing, which we don't see a whole lot of. As you know, normally it's always you're either building something and you're more neutral party, or you're the good guys, you know, and maybe someone betrays you or turns out to be evil. You know, like a lot of games have the traitor mechanic. This one is just a competitive, be it jerk contest.
Yes.
Who could be the evilest of them all? Wickedest of them all.
The only thing is, I'm not a fan of the box art.
Yeah, I agree. The box art is a little weird.
It's not horribly done, but it looks a little amateurish.
Yeah. And I think the art on the cards looks a little like that. And the only thing I have to say about this game is I feel like I don't know. It's just something weird and like off a little bit about it. Now, granted, like I feel like because this is a very, you know, like you're playing a, you know, witch kind of thing, I want some, you know, a female gendered person to feel like what they would feel about this one, because it is not that it would be bad on the mechanical level of card game, you know, but it is like a interesting take on something that I don't want to get too political about it, but you know, I know there's definitely like it's an older interpretation of a lot of stuff. I feel like, you know, the classic, you know,
why aren't
like,
there any male witches?
man witches.
You went there, I didn't.
I mean, it was easy to go man witch though.
Man witch, they're tasty.
Look, just that's one of those fun things to play is like a man witch. Like that's what like I remember in Pathfinder where you can play as a witch class. I like the fact that you can play just as normal like classic witch, or you could be man witch, and they go a very different route. They go very like actual traditional, like, you know, spiritual nature-y connections with a witch, which is very interesting take on the entire idea of the witch. But yes, traditionally witches were associated with women, so it is very understandable to do that. But yes, it is taking on that kind of classic movie trope witch. They have the green screen chick on there, so you know, like I'm just surprised you don't have a broom and like a hat, you know, going along.
Or you
with
also have
cat.
the one with the horns.
Yeah, true.
It kind of seems like the one with the horns makes me think of almost a Maleficent.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think it's just the art is weird,
and they have
a token black.
They have a token black character.
Which, I mean, is okay, but whatever.
And a token green character.
Yes, they have a token green character, too. So they're going for all the races. Green and all the skin colors.
All your skin colors belong to me?
Wait. No, I'm incorrect about that. We're not getting any blue woman representation. I was about to say blue chicken. That's incorrect. I should be at least relatively PR. Sensitive to anybody. I mean, I've already like insulted the Norwegians today. It's one group of people I can insult per day. I have to really avoid like any more. Also, once again, sorry Norwegian people or anybody from Scandinavia. Also, sorry women or anything at this point in time for whatever reasons. I don't know.
What about
sorry
raisins?
Everyone. Sorry, the long list of people I will probably accidentally insult. There's this nice mouth here, and I have a foot to put in it. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, Wickedest of them all. Interesting take on the, like, villain, evil board game. And I guess just, if we remove that aspect, it just seems to be, like, another kind of strategy card game. Which isn't bad. Strategy card games can be fun. But I would definitely recommend it that you probably would check it out for yourself and see what you think about it. See what you think about the art. People out there, go and check out the art. I definitely think, like, you know, that's a discussion I would have to say is, like, does bad or box art that doesn't feel quite right, does that push you off to a game? You know.
For me, I wouldn't. If I was in a game store looking at games, I probably would look right over this one.
That I have to agree on. The art doesn't hook me in. Granted, like if I'd heard about it before, I might take a look. But
if I heard about it and I heard or I saw it played and it looked really like an interesting game, I could overlook the art. But if I'm just like looking in the store and just see it, it's like,
yeah.
Next.
When you're just browsing, you need something eye-catching, and I just feel like there's something, a little off about the art. It's its own style, I will say, and it's an interesting style, but it just, like...
It almost makes me think of, like, early D&D.
Yeah! Yes, an earlier edition of D&D. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at the cover a little closer, I like how, like, apparently they're, like, looking through the ball and causing someone to set on fire.
Yes, there's also, who's in, like, robes and stuff, but then there's, like, a guy in a business suit, too.
Uh-huh. No, it looks like he's just in a shirt or something. And there's someone that, yeah. They're having some terror as, like, the person's burning. Mm-hmm.
Oh, because the one person in the front is casting a spell.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
I just noticed that.
She's got her hand out, and
I see the sparks coming off, green sparks off of her fingertips.
She's lighting someone on fire, and they bursting into flames and burning horribly and going. So I'm guessing, this might involve you as a wicked, horrible person, causing deaths of people.
Yay!
Uh-huh. Do they go like witches movie kind of way, and can you like consume children? Since we already talked about eating Odin.
Stop eating Odin.
But he's so delicious. He's absolutely godly.
Oh, God. Thor's gonna strike you down. You know that.
Look. He can try to strike me down all I want. I'm consuming his power.
Oh, you want?
He can try to smoke me all I want, but once I'm done consuming this Odin, I will have the powers of Odin myself. That's how it works.
Nope, you're wrong.
Well, we'll find out.
You just become bloated.
I mean, there's a lot of Odin. Well, what form was he in, and how large was that form? If he took the form of a crow, he'd be pretty easy to eat.
Well, when you're done, you're going to be eating crow.
What about Tom Servo?
What?
You missed the Mystery Science Theater 3000 joke.
I never watched that show that much.
Oh.
I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I was never a bit hugely into it.
There's a lot of bad episodes, and then a chunk of good episodes, and that's the problem. Is like people like to remember the really good episodes they enjoyed, and then like they forget.
Yeah, it's like those bad ones.
It's a combination of their writing and the movie. Like, Oh God, that's true. When I'm done eating Odin, I'd be so constipated. God just doesn't pass through you. Gods just don't pass through you like you want them to. Oh, God. I'm going to avoid this conversation anymore. Like, it's going much weirder than I wanted.
Maybe you have to follow it up with some Loki.
Oh. Anyway, thank you, 141. So
the Potato Pirates?
Let's go to Potato Pirates. Whatever. Let's do it. let's do it. Wickedest of all. It's out now. If you want to check it out yourself, if you guys check out the art, just let me know what you think about it. It's in the comments of somewhere. So Potato Pirates, the game.
I want to command the frying Dutch pan.
Yeah, it's a game of. Oh God. I was gonna say their joke. Go
ahead.
It's a game of carbs and strategy. I stopped myself before it. So it's supposed to be for families, educators, geeks, you name it. It's basically like computer programming, the card game combined with pirates combined with potatoes. It's for 3 to 6 players, ages 6 and up. They take 20 to 40 minutes per round. And it's all about learning computational thinking logic without being frustrated by syntax. So, for those of you out there who have taken anything in computer programming, guff. And avoids the guff. Yeah. So yeah, it's supposed to be learning a bit of programming at your place. You don't need any kind of setup. Really? Okay. So apparently it is the most funded Kickstarter game from Singapore. So it was a Kickstarter game.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at their Kickstarter site right now.
Okay. I'm looking at their actual site where they were funded in 10 hours and raised over
$258,408. And the goal was $15,000. All hail the Potato King.
It really was, people really liked the idea of potatoes and pirates and programming all together in one, I guess. Somewhere along the way they were like, this is a great idea. Let's combo them. I don't know where to go with that one.
To win the game, you have to collect all 7 Potato King cards.
Yes. Because it's the Potato Pirate King.
On your turn, draw 2 cards. Reveal any bug cards. Last to shout Potato King pays you 2 potatoes. God.
So there's variables, functions, while loops, nested loops, algorithms, and sequence lobs, interrupts, and control throw, and then the common programming bugs.
Yep. And there's 14 big potatoes and 70 small potatoes. Ration your potatoes. Without them, you are dead.
Yeah.
You might get mashed.
Yes, or fried, or roasted in the nested loops because the while and or if else conditions. Wow. I mean, programming, yay. It's probably not too difficult when you get a hold of it. It doesn't look like it is, but there is like a level to it that's just... It's just... I don't know where to go with this one. Okay, 9 out of 10 people showed an improvement in their understanding of the fundamental programming concept after playing for only 1 hour.
Hey, do you want the SS Mega Chip?
Was he just say SS Naked Chip?
Mega Ship.
Oh, Mega Ship.
Upsize the ship to stack 5 action and control cards. Not the naked ship.
Why is that ship naked?
No, everyone aboard is.
They're potatoes. What do they peel themselves?
They're in the raw.
Wow, this just gets worse.
You started that one.
I know, because I misheard you, because I was blowing my nose. It would have been more interesting for the SS Naked Ship of potatoes. The naked potato knows the truth.
Fun and effective. 78% increase in confidence in learning coding after playing Potato Pirates.
I guess that's one of the things about it is at least you're trying to learn some programming while having fun. Yay! I don't know where to go with this one. This is
okay. Wait. I'm still on the old Kickstarter page.
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
And it says featured in Geek Dad, but the second one is it featured in Mashable.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on that one. Was featured in Mashable.
They have a little comic series about their potato pirates.
They also have stuff you can buy, like the Potato King plushie.
God, they have their own set of characters.
Far deck with gold edges.
Man, Yeah, they apparently have like a little like weekly series of the webcomic adventures of their potato pirates.
My God, they have T-shirts, tote bags, a drawstring potato sack.
I guess because they got so much funding, they're just like, here's stuff.
Oh, and you can buy a 3-hour e-learning for coding for potatoes.
They have a bunch of freebie like potato pirate
Or the 12-hour
learning
Python
stuff.
curriculum.
I mean, you know, as long as you're careful, you can have some sharp edges. And yeah, no leather. Well, it's a pirate ship. Why would you let? Well, I guess if
Hey,
they're
pirates love to wear leather.
they could be the. Well, then they're not naked pirates or potatoes. I don't know. The naked pirate ship has ruined everything. The naked potato pirate ship has ruined everything.
Naked pirate ship has ruined everything.
God.
I'm Blackbeard, but the beard's not on my face.
Oh my God. All right, we just moved up on our rating there. Thank you.
I think you want the black and gold deck, though.
You want the slideshow for Save the Potato King, which is for preschoolers to help them learn something? I don't know what. It's under their freebies on their site. Ah, my glasses were very dirty. That's much better.
Now you can see everything.
I know, now I can see everything.
Now you can see the naked potato pirates.
I mean, they're potatoes. They are, you know, they're what they do. So, yeah, potatoes.
Oh, God.
Pirates. It's a game.
So
I don't know.
There's named potatoes.
I know, because it's, as I was talking about, their little webcomic.
Potato King the 7th.
Yeah, has all their characters.
Maris Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Gaudacho Colorado. I don't even know how to say that name. Seshwashankar Toffel.
Sechwarken Tartoffel. Oh my God, yeah.
AKA Toff.
God. Silverton.
And B. Blazer. Burbank.
Yeah.
Norgold. Tato.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
knows his real name.
I really
would
would have
say
liked.
Tato.
I really, really wanted one of them to be named Idaho, but no.
Or
They're
just
not.
Ida, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they could have been twin sisters, Ida and Ho.
I mean, they could add the characters. I could click on their profiles to read about them.
Oh, they have their full profiles on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
King Solnum Tubersum, Edward of Scudder, Lancashire, the 7th of the House of John Butler, or Captain, as he's called by his crew.
Yeah.
I think we potatoed it up enough.
I think we're good. Potato Pirates. It's a thing. My brain hurts a little bit now, just a tiny bit. It's a crazy thing. You can check it out now if you really want to.
Ooh, ages 6 to infinity.
Good for Infinity. Tell Infinity I hate it.
I'm infinity years old.
Well, as I said, tell Infinity I hate it. Have you told it?
Yes, it said bite me.
They would too.
It said it's going to take you to the SS Naked ship.
But they're potatoes. I don't care about potatoes.
Too bad. Anyway.
So yes. Let's move on to our regular segments, because that's It's good for Odin and Odin eating witches. Well, now the witches are eating Odin too. Damn it! They're stealing all my Odin. Kickstarter Korner. Yeah, great. Joe, go now. Speak. It's our segment each week where we talk about Kickstarters that are out right now. There you go. Okay.
This one is for James the Mason. Because he wanted us to talk about Australia. So I got Australia board game.
Okay.
Here is the link. Paste. So there's 19 days to go. It has made its goal. It's at 84,504 out of 36,414. There's 1,765 backers. So basically, you're colonizing Australia, and you need to do it within a certain amount of time to build up your resources before the old ones wake up and become an active player to start harassing you.
All right, that's interesting.
You're exploring Australia's alternative reality. Fight for survival as the dark forces awake.
Interesting. Yes. Okay.
It's a hexagon board. Oh my god. The box is crammed with over 640 components.
That's a decent amount of components. Wow.
There's, let's see, 4 player boards plus wooden pieces and tokens, 1 port, 20 cubes, 3 discs, 20 railroad tiles, 21 farm tiles, 20 survey tiles, 35 old one tiles, 25 military units, 36 unique personalities to recruit, 40 unique old ones determine the movement and outcomes of combat, and 30 event cards, plus a crap ton of resources and other pieces.
They might be raising potatoes in Australia to fund their war effort against Cthulhu. We're going to raise potatoes to fund the war effort against Cthulhu. That's a statement I never thought I was going to say. But you know what? Now I've said it, so that was the thing.
Okay, so the guy who created it was originally from the UK, but now lives in New Zealand.
Ooh, close enough to Australia. It counts.
So it's definitely going to be a thing.
Yes, it will definitely be a thing.
It looks very interesting. I just wanted to see some Cthulhian creatures take over some like kangaroos or something.
Yeah, Cthulhu.
Also, Cthulhu looks really buff.
Buff like Cthulhu.
Oh, come on, look at him. Does he not look buff?
Yeah, he kind of looks like Buff Cthulhu. Buff Cthulhu.
Buff Cthulhu.
That should be a thing now from now on. Everyone, we're making that a thing. Buff Cthulhu.
Hey, at least they don't have detail on the crotch because he is completely naked. I think he came on the naked pirate ship.
Were there potatoes on the naked pirate ship? Probably.
Yes, we were shipping those potatoes off to raise money for our war effort against Cthulhu, and he hijacked our ship.
That bastard. Yeah, okay. Hi, Damien. Please just,
So rather than traditional stretch goals, they are going to be unveiling new quests every day of the campaign. Each quest will be one of funding, social, or random fun. No Kickstarter exclusives on this one.
All right, then. Good to know. They're amazing, I don't know where to go with this one. I've lost it from the Potato Pirates and all that was happening for it. So cool. Interesting. Neat that we're hearing about this one from you. Cool. All right. I guess I will throw together mine. I have a couple of things I want to talk about since we don't have Worm here. I'm going to start with... I'll just do some quickly. Vampire Hunter, the card game. 7 days to go. About 75% of the way funded. It's a card game where you're trying to be the best vampire hunter and kill the most vampires and get the most fangs from them. Fairly simple, fairly interesting little thing here. It's, you will each have your own vampire.
Are you going to post the link?
Yes. I'll post a couple of links here. I'm just going to go like a quick couple of rapid fires. Damn it. There you go, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ooh.
I know. It's simple. It looks interesting. So that's why I kind of wanted to mention that one at least. Again, 7 days to go. They don't have a lot of information on it overall than just a little bit. But it definitely, might be.
They're halfway.
They are over halfway. Oh, they have 8,000 to go. Oh, whoops. So they may or may not be funded.
They have 4,000 to go out of 8,000.
I was reading at 6. I've really lost it today.
Yeah, it's pledged out of 8,000, and they have 4,513.
Yep. Cool.
So they're a little over halfway.
Then I was thinking of bringing us up to, let's click on this here and then get the proper link for you guys. Necromech tabletop role-playing game. It's a dark fantasy one in a post-World War II alternate history setting. So, historical, dark fantasy, seems interesting. 18 days to go. They're about 40% funded.
Any potatoes?
Again, because it is post-World War II, maybe. Basically, the world was interdictionally ripped apart by the atomic bombs. And so there's hellish hordes, kind of horrible things going on. Creatures in the waste of what was Japan must be destroyed while others are the source for power. Takes place
in... Godzilla!
Yeah, really. So it's a very interesting alternate history storyline, dealing with very psychic abilities, Cthulhian horrors, spycraft, all that kind of stuff, all put together. Very interesting kind of little set of things. A D100, D10 encounter system, things like that. If you're interested in that, the setting alone seems interesting enough to recommend checking it out. I was going to talk about one other, but it's less interesting than the last two. And
I want the poison gun.
Yes, poison gun. And I'm a little burnt out from Potato Pirates, so let's move on to our next session. That's 2. That's good. We got through some. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoy them. If you want to check them out. I'm going to keep walking away from Potato Pirates now so we can get far and far and far away from those. Alright. So, let's talk about our next to last segment, our week in tabletop. Because that's always a fun one and has great stories, great adventures. Let's talk about what we did in our tabletop weeks. Joe, what do you got for us?
We did some Magic last week.
That's true. We did some Magic. We played some Magic together.
With dual decks.
Interesting.
We did a small game of I'm never going to say this right. Professor Pugnacious's Perfidity.
It's deck building steampunk game.
Yes.
That's the easiest way to say it. It's a deck building game. It's steampunk. It's fun. Interesting. We don't get many chances to try it. We
haven't done that one in a while. And then the only other thing was Monday we did some more Time Stories.
Yep. We continued the Prophecy of Dragon. We got to part 2, which apparently we didn't even know there was a part 2.
Which you can start from part 2 because it's a time loop.
Yes. But the only problem was that we had such bad luck on our initial run, we decided to do it all again, but we managed to do it in like 15 minutes. So we set up for next time to be at the start of the time loop in technically slightly better shape.
Yes. Slightly better.
We have like one more time, and we know where we're going now, and we have slightly better equipment, so we know...
We have a lot better equipment, actually.
Yes. So we theoretically know how to get to the final battle a lot quicker, etc., etc., yes. All that jazz. Awesome! That was our Time Stories. And then on Wednesday, I had Bastion Frontier, where I played as Tools again and continued my ability to be the most annoying yet most wonderful character there is. the plucky comic relief, as we once again accomplished very little and just did a lot of role-playing. Because apparently the session before, we all but one of us got really drunk, so weird stuff happened. And I assume a lot of people in the group are banging when no one is, really. And I act
because they're on the naked potato chef.
Well, the two characters, Nowhere and Tiv, I'm assuming they've been in a relationship since really on in the adventures, and they aren't really. They're sort of like in a weird relationship, but not the kind of relationship I'm assuming they're in. The entire time. Yup. It's, lots of other things that I keep doing, and I know if I keep doing them, and it's more wonderful, and it's the ever-evolving backstory of my character. As each session, I come up with a new story, and then I write it into my backstory, like, in-game. You know, it's like, there was this one time this happened, and I can tell you about it, and it sounds horrible. It's just like, what are you going to add to our story now? Good times. Anyway, that was our weekend gaming. So, time to our final segment. Let's finish up today. Consult the Table, where you out there ask us questions about anything, really. Tabletop related, RPG, CCG, just nerdy related. If you have some kind of nerd related question, we'll take that kind of like geek related. Anything that would be interesting that you might...
Naked pirate ships.
That probably doesn't come up at a tabletop table. Anything that comes up at a table where you're playing tabletop, because there's a lot of discussions, you know, that come up there. Any kind of question related to that, you can ask us. We have a email. You can always email us, discussingtabletop@yahoo.com. You can reach me in the comments, well, other than being if you're live here in chat when we're streaming, in the comments when we put this up on YouTube of both this one and Gathering the Roll. You can reach us at my Discord. You can reach any of us, me, Joe, and Worm when he's here, well, Worm anyway, at our Twitters. Great places to reach us with any kind of question about anything that you want us to discuss here. Let us know. And that is our Consult the Table section, which we have had like 5 questions for, but whatever, over the entire series of doing it. But that's fine. We've had more than 0. More than 0 is always good. Anyway.
Yes.
So, thank you everyone who came and joined us. Thank you once again to Joe for joining me every week. That's a really good question, and we'll have to get back to you. We're going to have to crunch some numbers, and the answer is probably 20. 20 potatoes.
42.
Noted has eaten that many potatoes. And the witch can eat him because she has magic at a course of probably about 10 minutes, if she uses the proper magic. If she doesn't use the proper magic, it'll probably take a couple of days.
And she'll explode.
Well, that's why it's a couple of days. She'll just explode.
Nope, she still explodes.
Whatever. Joe, where can people find you? Always, never.
Here.
Yes. That's
and
accurate.
they can message me on Twitter. Dot.
Mm-hmm. The correct answer is 42. It's always 42. It's the answer to everything. Yeah. They can find me. As for me, I am Tannis Dracovin, your host. And you can be found here daily at least in the morning and usually in the evenings for some streams. You can find me on my YouTube channel, the Dracovin Empire, where I put up the VODs of this show and everything else I do here on Twitter, and I have some scripted contents. You can find me on my Twitter and my Discord if you want to reach me. If you want to show great support for me and my content, subscribe on YouTube. Follow here. If you have some extra cash and or a Amazon Prime subscription to something that you're burning a hole in your pocket, throw it towards me here. Or I have a Patreon with some great rewards where you can play stuff with me and do other various things. And also, I think that's everything. We'll be together here Monday again with hopefully Worm, where we'll be doing some gaming.
And hopefully a Rachel.
Yes, for finishing up Time Stories finally. That's the next point. We'll all be together. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some stuff. Expect the finishing of a couple of games in the future, like Night in the Woods will be streamed at some point in time as a separate thing to finish it up because there's like an hour left, and I didn't want to throw it together this morning. So expect that soon. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us in chat. Thank you, Joe, for joining me once again, and we shall see you here, hopefully, all three of us next week. Goodbye, everyone.